Hey everyone, it's Pearlescent Toys, back in today's video with another Marvel Legends action figure review, and today we're looking at the Marvel Legends Retro Collection Quicksilver. This figure has been rumored for such a long time, but we finally have it in hand. Here's a look at the back of the box. Along with his twin sister, the Scarlet Witch, the speedster Quicksilver joined the Avengers after leaving Magneto's Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. Alright, but without further ado, let's get into the review. That was so lame, I'm sorry. Created by Jack Kirby and Stan Lee, Pietro Maximoff made his debut in X-Men issue number 4 in March of 1964 as member of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, Quicksilver. He would later go on to join the Avengers alongside his sister, the Scarlet Witch, in the Avengers issue number 16 in May of 1965. Now, this isn't the first time that we've gotten Pietro Maximoff in the line before. We have gotten several others from the early phases of Hasbro. I think they did the blue and the green version, like the green as a chase. And then as a part of the Family Matters 3-pack alongside Scarlet Witch and his father, Magneto. He is still using the Sunfire body mold, the same one that was used for the Family Matters 3-pack. And going off of my review for the Spider-Man and Vulture 2-pack, people do not like this mold. Personally, I have no quarrel with it. I think it's alright. Starting off with the boots, and you have this really neat, like, pearlescent white color for those. Very reflective, very shiny, but there isn't a whole lot to say. There's not, like, any shading or anything. It's just plain white. On camera, it kind of looks like the knee joints are a different color, but they're the same color. Up here, you actually do get some shading in between the muscles right here. You could see some black, just like very faint right there, which is a neat touch, and that continues on the side and even on the back as well. Unlike the Family Matters 3-pack, this one has pinless knees and, what we'll get to later, pinless elbows. So it already is sort of a step up from that in that regard. And now moving up to the trunks, yeah, it's a different color than the rest of the costume. It's a darker green, the lightning bolt going across that waist and across the torso as well, painted on very crisp. There are like a few spots where it's kind of iffy. See the center of the chest right there. Usually Hasbro have a lot of trouble getting paint down into the crevices of the muscles on their figures. Not really noticeable though. That paint continues up through the ab crunch. And yeah, it continues all the way around on the back and around the other side of the waist. Is that shading? It is. He has some shading on his butt. His abs also have some shading. You can see right there very faintly some black paint in between those. I want to say there is some, it could be my lighting, but I want to say there's a tiny bit throughout all the other muscles on his torso. He does have some paint apps for his skin, for the neck, and it actually matches up with the head pretty well. Let's address this. He has this big, ugly peg hole on his back, and what purpose does it serve? Hasbro have gone out of their way to update this body mold with those pinless elbows, those pinless knees, but they still just can't fill that hole on the back. It is so big, it is really ugly, and it's an eyesore, especially for characters that don't need it. Yeah, just super upsetting to see, and especially because it cuts off the paint on the back as well. Ooh, that's just super frustrating. And then going down the arm, yeah, the same Sunfire arms, except they're pinless this time. There is shading between the muscles right there. And the gloves, unlike the boots down here, are not sculpted in white. They are painted on. Same pearlescent white though, very consistent with these and the lightning bolt. The hands are pretty much the same color as well. And then we move up to the head sculpt, and it is easily just a huge step up from that previous Family Matters version, who I'll bring in the size comparisons portion, and I may even do like a head swap, so stay tuned for that. They are able to pack in so much tiny details into it. You can see the eyes just look so incredibly lifelike, and just the expression too. I love like the smugness of his expression, just that sideways smile, one of the eyebrows kind of being a little cocked up higher than the other one, and there is some really nice shading all around the eyes too. The hair looks spot on as well. I think what I really love the most are these little 2 strands sticking up. Now going over accessories, first up are these opened hands and some fisted hands, and that's all you get in terms of accessories. It feels really bare bones. I really wish it came with like the, those judo chop looking hands just for his running poses, maybe a gust of wind too. I don't know, something. But now going over articulation, the head is able to move up this much, look down that much. He has a tiny bit of pivot and some side-to-side movement. His arm is able to move up this much, go back a really good amount, and go forward a decent amount. He has shoulder rotation, an upper bicep swivel, a double jointed elbow that's able to bend in this much, and your standard wrist hinge being able to go up, down, and all the way around. With his ab crunch, he's able to bend back this much and go forward that much. He has side-to-side pivot. His leg is able to kick up this much. He's able to go out to the side that much and go back a decent amount. Upper thigh swivel, a double jointed knee that's able to bend up this much. He has upper calf rotation, and his foot is able to move this far down, this far up, and he has some. All right, let's take a look at the size comparison, starting with the Family Matters Quicksilver. These two share the same body, as I stated earlier, with one exception, those pinless arms and legs, of course. Everything else is pretty much the same. I did want to do a head swap between the two, and this is what the Family Matters 3-pack Quicksilver looks like with a brand new digital face printed head. Yeah, not too bad. The head does look a little too small for the body though, and I just went ahead and put the old head on this body just cause. Yeah, you can see the skin for the neck isn't showing on the older one, which kind of works in its favor, you know, you don't have to worry about mismatching skin tones. All right, this is me like 2 minutes later. I will say in person, it does look a whole lot better. On camera, it just looks kind of awkward for some reason. Maybe it's just like, I'm not used to this head being on this body. I've had this one on there for so long. Anything different is just bound to look weird. Like, I'm starting to get used to it, and I'm starting to like it. I do have a second one. I just wanted free shipping, and I was going to end up returning that one. But I don't know. I might open it and pop that head onto this body instead. Moving on, here he is next to his twin sister, Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch. This one is from the Family Matters 3-pack, and this one from the Retro Collection. Family Matters Magneto and X-Men 97 Magneto. Iron Man and Thor. Captain America and the Incredible Hulk. Hawkeye and Giant Man. Vision and Black Widow. Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man and Love Triangle Wolverine. Deadpool and Hydra Bob. Deadpool and Hydra Bob. Darwin and Morbius. And finally, Jeff the Landshark and Spider-Ham. All right, time for my final rating and my overall thoughts. I think I'm going to give Quicksilver here a final rating of 8 out of 10. I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. As much as this figure skimped out on accessories and covering up giant peg holes, it does do a whole lot to improve upon the Family Matters version. First off, those pinless joints and that updated head sculpt. Both features are just fantastic and are very welcomed. I'm not really against the Sunfire body mold, especially this iteration of it. I think it is fine. My only gripe, again, is that big giant peg hole in the back. But yeah, I think it is just a very decent figure and does a little bit to improve upon the previous version. So 8 out of 10. But yeah, that'll do for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Comment down below what you thought about the figure. I would love to see your guys' opinions. And while you're at it, please like and subscribe and share with a friend. Anything you can do to support the channel will be greatly appreciated. And with that, I will see you in the next one. Bye. But now going, Hasbro have gone out of the, Hasbro have gone out of the, up, he has a tiny bit of pivot. He kind of looks like Henry Cavill.